All right, ready to do this. Let's dive into the OR, or at least get a peek into its future. It's wild how much surgery is changing. We're talking way beyond those old medical shows with everyone in green scrubs.
It really is amazing how fast things are moving. We're using tech that seemed like science fiction just a few years ago.
Right. Today, we're breaking down this article, 11 Advanced Surgical Practices and Innovations in Modern Surgery.txt, to give you all a glimpse of what's happening on the cutting edge. Forget scalpels and sutures, this is next level stuff. And it all starts before the surgery even begins.
Exactly. It's all about planning.
Which used to mean x-rays, right? I'm sure most folks listening have had a few of those in their time.
Oh, sure, but we've gone way beyond that. Now it's all about 3D imaging. CT scans, MRIs, things like that. But it's more than just seeing things in 3 dimensions. It's the incredible detail they provide.
So instead of a flat image, surgeons can actually,
Oh,
well, like hold a model of your heart.
that's the idea. Imagine a surgeon being able to virtually rotate your heart, look at it from all angles, zoom in on a valve, even simulate blood flow. And all this before making a single incision.
Whoa, that's incredible. It's like having a roadmap, but for the human body. Way more advanced than those old anatomy charts we used to study. This kind of prep work before surgery has to lead to better outcomes, right?
Absolutely. Less chance of surprises during the operation, smaller incisions, faster recovery times. It's a win-win for surgeons and patients.
So, better planning, incredible imaging. What else? Oh, we got to talk about AI. It seems like AI is popping up everywhere these days, but in surgery, that feels like a huge jump.
It does, but it's already happening. One of the most interesting ways AI is being used is in analyzing all the data from past surgeries. Think about it. Every operation generates tons of information.
Right, and usually it just sits there in a file, right?
Exactly. But now, AI can sift through all that data, look for patterns, and use it to help surgeons make better decisions in real time during an actual surgery.
So it's like having a supercomputer assisting the surgeon.
Pretty much, it's like an extra set of eyes. But these eyes can process information at lightning speed, notice things humans might miss.
Okay, honestly, that's kind of blowing my mind. But as cool as all that is, I do wonder about the surgeons themselves. I mean, they train for years, have incredible skills. Does all this new tech replace any of that?
It's not about replacement. It's more like enhancing what they can already do,
Yeah.
giving them even better tools to work with.
A partnership, then. Human skill combined with cutting-edge tech.
You got it. And one of the most exciting areas where we're seeing this partnership shine is in minimally invasive surgery.
Okay, now we're talking. Those tiny incisions, big results. It's fascinating.
It is. Think of something like laparoscopy, where surgeons operate through a few small incisions using cameras and instruments. It's remarkable what they can accomplish. And then taking that a step further, you've got robotic surgery.
Robots actually performing surgery. That's going to be straight out of science fiction.
It does sound futuristic, but it's becoming more and more common. With robotic surgery, the surgeon controls robotic arms that are incredibly precise, even more so than human hands in some cases.
Wow.
Now-
Just wow. But I'd imagine, as with anything new, there are still kinks to work out. I mean, it can't all be smooth sailing, right?
You're absolutely right. For one thing, it's expensive. And not every hospital has access to that kind of technology. Plus, it requires specialized training for surgeons. And honestly, it's not always the right approach for every procedure. It really depends on the individual case.
Exactly. It's like any tool, got to use the right one for the job, high tech or old school.
Makes sense.
Mm.
You know, thinking about these high-tech surgeries, it really highlights that it's not just one person in there. It takes a whole team to make it happen.
Oh, absolutely. Surgery these days, it's a team effort for sure. Starts with the planning, getting everyone on the same page.
Like a perfectly timed play, got to make sure everyone hits their mark.
Exactly. You've got your surgeons, nurses, surgical techs, anesthesiologists. It's a whole production. Speaking of which, anesthesiologists, they're the unsung heroes, making sure you're comfy while all the work is being done.
No doubt. They're monitoring everything, heart rate, breathing, adjusting meds as needed, keeping you pain-free. And the techniques they use now, it's a whole different ballgame.
Oh, tell me more about that. Pain management is so key. Anything that makes recovery smoother, I'm all for it.
Have you heard of ERS? Stands for Enhanced Recovery After Surgery. It's basically a whole new way of thinking about how to help your body bounce back faster.
Okay, now you got my attention. Lay it on me.
So it's all about minimizing complications, getting you up and moving sooner rather than later, using less opioids, and back home faster.
Sign me up. What's the secret sauce? What makes this ERS approach so different?
Well, one thing they often do is use regional anesthesia, which numbs just the area they're working on instead of putting you completely under. Means less grogginess, faster recovery.
And fewer of those strong painkillers, which is always a good thing.
Exactly. But even with the best planning, all the latest tech, sometimes things don't go to plan during surgery, right?
That's got to be true for any surgery. So how do surgeons prepare for that, the unexpected, when they open someone up and find something totally different?
Surgeons, they're like those chess masters, always thinking several moves ahead. They go through every step of the procedure, imagine what could go wrong, and have a backup plan ready to go.
They got to be adaptable, able to think on their feet.
100%.
Yeah.
Because you never know what you'll find once you start a surgery. They need to be ready to adjust based on what they see.
It's a blend of art and science, isn't it? The technical skill, plus that ability to stay calm under pressure when things get hairy.
That's the heart of surgery right there. And a lot of it comes down to experience. Surgeons never really stop learning. They're always refining their skills.
Makes sense. Medicine is constantly evolving, so they have to keep up with the latest and greatest.
Exactly. Continuing education is huge. Conferences, journals, courses, some even use simulators just like pilots.
Wait, hold up. Simulators? Like those flight simulators you see in movies?
That's right. Now, they have these AI-powered simulators for surgery, allows them to practice in a virtual world, try things out, make mistakes without any risk to a patient.
So they can experiment, refine their technique, get that confidence up?
Yep. Plus, they can experience those super rare or complicated cases, the ones they might not see very often in real life, and be ready if they encounter them.
That's seriously cool. It's like leveling up your skills in a video game before you go out and face the final boss.
Exactly. Practice those high-stress scenarios so when they happen in real life, they're ready.
Makes you realize, with these simulations, the cutting-edge tech, we're talking about the future of surgery, and it's happening now. It feels like we're on the verge of something huge, a whole new era for surgery.
We are, and it's not even just about the tech, but how it's changing the whole experience for the patient.
Which is what really matters, right? It's not just about fixing a problem, but making the whole process, well, less scary and painful for the person going through it.
Exactly. We're seeing a real shift towards patient-centered care, more open communication, helping patients understand their options, making them part of the decision-making process.
Because let's face it, it's your body, your health. You should have a say in what happens.
100%. And that means having all the info, knowing the risks and benefits, so you feel good about the choices you're making.
It's a journey, right? From those first conversations to pre-op planning, the surgery itself, recovery, the whole thing.
It's about treating the whole person, not just the thing that landed them in the OR.
This has been eye-opening for sure. It makes you realize just how far we've come and gets you excited about what's next for surgery, you know?
It really does. And honestly, I think that sense of wonder, that drive to keep pushing the limits, that's what motivates everyone in this field, from the researchers to the surgeons.
It's inspiring to hear about, that's for sure. And for our listeners, if this conversation has sparked your curiosity, if you want to learn more about robotic surgery, AI, any of it, we've got links in the show notes for you.
And hey, if you're facing surgery yourself, remember, knowledge is power. Ask your doctor questions. Speak up for what you need. Be a part of the process.
It's your health. You have every right to be curious, to be informed. Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into the world of surgery. Until next time, stay curious and stay healthy.